Study by the Building Collapse Prevention Guild shows that Nigeria has experienced 155 building collapse incidents between 2022 and 2024, with the most recent incident occurring in Kubwa, a suburb in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Now, this recent trend of building collapse incidents has raised concerns about the safety and integrity of structures across the country. Removal of fuel subsidy pushed. Let's pick up with other issues regarding the building collapse. The study we hear also reveals that the first building collapse in Nigeria occurred in October 1974 in Oyo State, resulting in 27 deaths. Now, since then, there have been numerous incidents, including the tallest building collapse in Lagos. Now, that occurred on November 1st, 2021, if you recall, where 52 people were reported dead. In 2022, 62 building collapse cases were reported nationwide, with Lagos accounting for 20 incidents. Now, the following year, that's 2023, 52 building collapse incidents were recorded, with Lagos leading again with 17 incidents. Another building collapse occurred on May 30, 2024 on Lagos Island. If you recall, a 4-story structure crumbled and trapping an unknown number of individuals. As of 2024, this year, we're seeing the numbers trickle in. There have been 17 recorded building collapse cases, with Lagos having 5, Anambra we hear having 3, Kano, Niger and Plateau having 1 each. Now, the recent Jos and Kubwa cases are just very scary. But what are the factors responsible for the cases of building collapse in Nigeria? Would they be attributed to lack of professional skills, or you want to say substandard materials, faulty design, poor workmanship, or weak foundation? What needs to be done to avert this occurring trend? We'll have a guest to look at this issue, Mr. Kashim Aliyu. He's a former president, Nigerian Society of Engineers and Council for the Regulation of Engineering of Nigeria, that is COREN. He is going to give us insight into some of these issues. Welcome to Panorama. I'm Ruth Aguilera. And let's just delve deep into the issues, concerns about the building collapse. We hear Director General National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Zubaida Umar, says strict monitoring of construction of buildings must be intensified by monitoring institutions to reduce the loss of lives and property occasioned by the reoccurring building collapses across the country. The DG NEMA stated this during an on-the-spot assessment of the St. Academy School building collapse site in Jos, Plateau State. Eliasu Yakubu reports.
The latest collapse in Jos, Plateau State claimed 22 lives and 132 others sustained different degrees of injury. The DG NEMA, who sympathized with the government and people of Plateau State, commended communities in the affected area for rescue efforts.
So what we have done today is to take a rapid assessment. Once we get back, we're going to have the report, and then we'll know how NEMA can come in terms of intervention, be it medicals, be it food, for example. NEMA is there to assist in any way.
The state governor, Caleb Mofwan, thanked the DG NEMA for the sympathy visit and promised to ensure adherence to building rules and regulations among the people.
We will need to put in place and upgrade our building codes. People cannot just build anywhere, especially within the city center.
Experts say many quacks have been empowered by the fact that regulatory bodies and relevant apparatus of government are unwilling or unable to prosecute and convict persons found culpable of professional ineptitude regarding incidences of building collapse in Nigeria. Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
That's just one, just within the weekend. We'll take you 2 days back. That's on Saturday. A two-story building along the Tutu area in Kubwa, Federal Capital Territory, collapsed. And 4 persons we hear were rescued alive by the search and rescue operatives. Our correspondent, Onotu Yakubu, who's been monitoring the situation, has an update for us.
It was about 6 in the morning when some of the occupants began hearing sounds of the building walls cracking. Eyewitness accounts say, while they rushed to evacuate the 2-story building, the west wing eventually caved in, trapping 4 of the residents in the rubble.
The only thing I know that is about 36 rooms, but I don't really know the actual people because some people are couples, some people are single.
I've not even noticed any sign. It was just like I've not even noticed any sign. The building are going to collapse.
Search and rescue operation began immediately. About 5 hours later, this 4th victim of the building collapse was successfully rescued alive by emergency workers.
So far, we have been able to rescue 4 people alive. 2 people are in the hospital, others were on hot. Well, the rescue operation is still ongoing. We are not going to call off these rescue operations unless the part of the building that has collapsed, unless we get to the bottom of it.
The construction companies or individuals that are constructing buildings, most of the times they don't follow the rules.
Although there is no report of any further victim trapped in the building, the earth-moving equipments are still digging through the rubble with intent to get to ground zero and ascertain the situation. The 2-story collapsed building was said to have initially been erected as a hotel before undergoing remodeling twice, first for a hospital and now a 35-rooms residential apartment. In Abuja, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Very unfortunate situation there, and we have a guest, I told you at the start of the bulletin, to speak on this issue, Engineer Kashim Ali, the former president, Nigeria Society of Engineers and Council of Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, that is Kuren. Engineer Ali, thank you for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you, Ruth.
I'm sure you're following developments, even beyond this weekend's sad incident that happened in, we saw the Plateau state situation and then Kubwa. It's quite unfortunate. And according to the Building Collapse Prevention Guild, we had 22 buildings, have given way this year. It's quite really sad. What do you make out of all of this?
Thank you very much. It's sad, like we said, very, very sad and shameful that we're still at this level. The truth about this thing is that, one, government institutions that have responsibilities for approvals and monitoring are not effective enough. That is one. 2, government also is not taking this seriously. It's more of it will happen, officials will visit, they will provide some so-called for the victims, and at the end of the day, everybody forgets about it and we go back to our normal life. Let's take it from how does a building come into being? Especially the last 2 that have happened in capital cities. So we expect that at least there could be some level of control. An individual wanting to put up a structure will have to get a consultant, an architect for a start, who will put up the sketches for what his or her impression of what he wants. Guessing if it's going to be a high-rise, you will get in a consultant, a structural engineer to help with the frames that will hold the building in place. If it's in a difficult place, they will go an extra mile of looking at the subsoil condition. The foundation specialist may also be invited to have a look at the condition of the soil to see if they will design appropriate foundation. If it's not so bad, the structural engineer will proceed from there. Or the structural engineer has also expertise in foundation, he will do it. That way, that building is guaranteed, and somebody's stamp is on it. and he will take responsibility should anything happen. And of course, nothing will happen because he would have done with the best of practice standards. Now, but what we have is a case where individuals want buildings. Somebody goes to his friend or her friend's place, sees a building that looks appealing to them, then maybe say collect the drawing from them, come. Sometimes they don't get permission at all. They go to some obscure areas and put up such structures. And sometimes officials responsible for approvals and maintenance will see and maybe decide to, for any reason at all, decide not to take action. Such buildings come up and they come down the way these are come. And look at the story of the Kubwa own. It started as something else and ended up as something else. Who gave approval for all those conversions? Because under the law, you cannot convert a structure. In fact, you cannot do anything outside the perimeter of the structure approved for you. If you are, for instance, supposed to use a space in your, as provided a drawing and approved, you cannot go beyond that without permission.
Okay.
So that is the problem. So the problem really is government. I want to put it at the foot of government really, because if there has been some punishment to those who have done this previously, others would have taken the cue and we won't have this repeating itself.
And you know, it's unfortunate, Engineer Ali, that whenever there's a building collapse, that's where you get to hear these conversations placed on the burner. And it's quite sad that those concerned, you know, just watch these things go down. And there's been attributes, you know, to what causes this building collapse, from poor design, you know, not adherence to building codes and standards. So you ask, who is to blame? Engineer Ali, you said the engineer has a role to play from the start, before the design and everything. So who is to blame, really?
The truth, and I'm saying this from an informed position, no sentiments at all. We have a record of all collapses that have taken place in Nigeria. Current has a record, because each one that happens is investigated. Even these ones that have happened, they have been investigated already. They'll have the report, and the report is passed to government. Expectation is that government will do something beyond just sending NEMA or anybody to go and do, give palliatives. The expectation is that individuals indicted will be either arrested and prosecuted, or something has to be done.
Has anyone been indicted or convicted?
Oh, there's no incident that has not got indictment. Because the buildings don't fall just like that. Something has to be responsible. We have some cases that are even in court right now, like the synagogue case is still in court because they have been asking for one, going from one court to the other, asking for one injunction to, because that is the only one in recent history where we have professionals involved. They claim to be involved, even though our investigation showed something else, because it's not every engineer that can do a design or a building, for instance. When we're talking about structural frames, we're talking about structural engineer. So the fact that you're a chemical engineer does not make you suitable for that position. So if you claim it, a current will deal with you. So the people who claim to be involved in the structure that collapsed in synagogue, none of them was even a civil engineer. So that was already a red flag. And that happened. And we said, okay, take responsibility. Come to the panel so that we can see how you did it and you did the magic. And they have refused to come by going to court to get one injunction or the other. The thing has been going on for a long time. That's just one case study. But everyone that, from the one that happened in Port Harcourt many years ago, where there was a person who was indicted, was somebody was a nurse, another was a pharmacist, others have been traders and all manners of people who have taken responsibilities that are not theirs to do what they did. So we have, those reports have always, there's no report that is not communicated to government. So especially that the Lagos State government, in fairness to them, have tried, because it's Lagos State government that is prosecuting the guys in Lagos. We've not had other state governments and even FCT doing the same, because somehow people get protected or they ease themselves out using legal means.
Okay.
I recall a particular case I was involved in investigation where the individual said, they said the person was involved had died. Well, if he had died, let's even say evidence of his death. No evidence, but what could we do?
Okay.
He's dead and he's dead. We went to the CA, we sent a lawyer to the CAC to get the details. The file was empty. So those are the things that happen that keep this thing going on. Otherwise, look, in this country, under our laws, if you drive a car which you didn't manufacture, and for goodness sake, your brake failed and hit somebody and kill, you will be charged for manslaughter. Manslaughter gives you 5 years jail without option of fine. Then somebody puts
Engineer
up
Ali, let me come in here, which takes us to this poor or substandard building materials. Because now you hire people who maybe the clients who have claimed to be professionals, and then you're buying substandard products or items to get the building erected. This is part of the outcome we get to see. So there are people, actually there are agencies who are supposed to regulate that. So from your experience being with Koren and NSC, is there a synergy, as regard this issue among regulatory bodies to check some of these issues?
There is a synergy. No,
Okay.
the problem, you see, look, there's an authority, like in Abuja, there's a department called Development Control. It has a responsibility for giving approvals. It gives you the approval to construct. It has a way for monitoring while you are doing it, and it will check to say you are okay, you can move to the next stage. It has also the authority to give you approval that to say you have finished this building is now safe for occupation. That is what the law gives them. But this has still happened. Look, from even the way it has crumbled, you can see the reinforcement bars all out. You see, concrete is supposed to, after you made concrete, it's supposed to be homogeneous, to stand as one, as a unit. So when you see this fragmentation, already is an indication of poor integration of the constituents of the concrete. And that is not acceptable. If you mix your concrete properly and place it properly, what happens will not happen. You can't see what is happening. It's so disgusting what I'm seeing on the screen.
So going forward, Engineer Ali, what is the solution really? Because lives have been lost. We're hearing, as of last count, 22 persons have died from the Plateau incident and 132 still hospitalized. And these are students, majority. We're hearing, quite sad. You send your child to school on a morning and that child then come back home in one piece. It's quite unfortunate. How do we put a stop to this, or rather even curb it?
It's very, very sad, and my heart goes to the families of the lost young leaders of tomorrow. Now, the truth is, like I said earlier about when you drive a car, you hit somebody, you go for manslaughter. This one is a case where you know that to put up a high-rise structure, you need professionals, licensed to do this. You need an architect, structural engineer. Did you engage them? If you didn't engage them, that means your intentions were clear. You intended to put up a structure that will fall and kill people. As far as I'm concerned, that is homicide. So if people are charged for the offenses they commit, that will scale it. This will not even happen at all. Number two, the agencies have to outsource, because if the space is too wide for you to cover, outsource your services. Let professionals help you to monitor. Because if there was a group of people monitoring Kubwa now, other than the domain control staff who are in few number, this will not happen.
Okay, Engineer Ali, we'll leave the conversation there. This is not a one-off talk, and I'm sure those concerned will have to wake up and do the needful because lives are involved. Thank you very much, Engineer Kashim Ali, the former president, Nigerian Society of Engineers. Let's ponder on those thoughts. Let's go on a break.
NTA News. First with the news, authentic and reliable.
Thank you for staying tuned. Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas says the media is crucial in upholding democracy and holding public office holders accountable through balanced reportage. He stated this while opening the renovated House of Representatives Media Center at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Speaker Abbas says the upgraded media center underscores the commitment of the 10th Assembly to nurturing a vibrant and independent press. He urged members of the House of Representatives Press Corps to put national interest first in reporting Parliament, describing the media as a crucial partner in sustaining democracy.
Media within a democracy cannot be overstated. As the fourth estate, the media plays a pivotal role in fostering public engagement and upholding democratic values.
Mr. Speaker, I know the pressure that they are under to file stories and to accurately report the House. Mr. Speaker, I think it is very necessary that we have health insurance coverage for every member of the press corps. And I believe, sir, that this is something that you can do.
This modernized facility, as we're seeing today, is a beacon of hope for our profession, enabling us to discharge our duties more effectively. Your support is a reminder that a free press and a functioning democracy go hand in hand. Mr. Speaker, please accept our heartfelt appreciation for your unwavering support to the press corps.
They also inaugurated the newly elected executives of the House of Representatives Press Corps. Next, let's bring you sports update by Bright Abuja.
Guaranteed emerged as the champions of the inaugural Rising Star Football League in Abuja by securing a victory through a 1-0 draw with Delifresh FC on the last day of the league at Buhari Township Stadium. With 52 points accumulated from 22 matches, they claimed the top position, earning them a spot in the Super 4 alongside New Dawn, Chidex FA and Masterclass FC.
You know, you have time to plan. You have, when you don't do well, you go back to training ground, and I think it has been a wonderful experience for us.
We are trying to take grassroots and package it in a way that it looks as good as whatever they are doing. We believe we can do it. I think it's a thing of the brain, and I'm also encouraging others, you understand, to come in and support grassroots football.
The Super 4 stage of the league is set to take place later this year. Meanwhile, England failed to bring football home once again, as Spain won a record-breaking Euro 2024 title with a 2-1 victory over the Three Lions in Sunday's unforgettable final in Berlin, while Argentina, the current title holders, secured their 16th Copa America championship by defeating Colombia with a score of 1-0 in the final match at the Hard Rock Stadium in Florida on Sunday. And in a highly anticipated rematch of last year's Wimbledon final, Carlos Alcaraz displayed a stellar performance by defeating Novak Djokovic 6-2, 6-2, 7-6 to successfully defend his title. This victory marked Alcaraz's fourth Grand Slam win, having previously conquered Wimbledon twice, claimed the US Open in 2022, and emerged victorious at the French Open last month. Djokovic's loss prevented him from securing his 25th Grand Slam title to surpass Margaret Court on the all-time list and equal Roger Federer's record of 8 Wimbledon men's singles titles. With Sports Update, Bright Abuja, NTA News.
And that's Panorama. Thank you for your time. Do have a beautiful day ahead. I'm Ruth Agowele.